How is it going, guys? Scruff Games back with another episode of our Road to Driving for an esports team or being an esports level F1 driver. We're just doing some Bahrain today. As you can see, it's going to be a longer race, a 25%er, and we're going to do some longer quali as well, as we got an 18-minute qualifier. You see me, I'm out at 9.5 minutes, around, could get 2 laps in, is what we're going to go for. But as you saw in the last episode, Monaco is not at all my track. But Bahrain, I love it. I love it. There is a bit of possibility to get some errors in. You can make a mistake. You can run off. You're not going to smoke any walls. It's fantastic. And here, just trying to warm up my tires. You know how it is. Stay low on the fuel mix. ERS is 0. Just trying to pinpoint my turning points, as I really don't do that there. I love this little large chicane, I guess. Just this windy section into a straight. And again, just trying to find my points. But I am feeling it. We are going to go for a hot lap here. See what we can do. Bahrain is a great track. I really like it. There's a lot of straights, a lot of opportunities to pass. The track is so wide, as you even see on the Grand Prix on the weekend. There's just a lot of space, I find, to pass in this track. And we're just going to get it started right away. Gotta go slow here. It's all about the exit here. Who cares? If you're dive bombing, it's a great spot to dive bomb. But it really doesn't matter. It's all about exit there. Exit, exit, exit. Such a long straight. Definitely passing opportunities. Great spot for dipsy doodles, I will not lie. If the guy dive bombs, you can cut back and boom, you're passing him on the straight every time with DRS overtake and rich field mix. You go into this section, which I love. Hook it perfectly. This turn I do not does not mix well with me. These next 2 turns I don't do good on the low speed corners. I often find I'm losing my time there. As we get a decent exit, don't really slingshot, but that's okay. I think if I went in deeper and cut back harder, I would be able to get a better exit as we go into this turn, which I do like. A little too early on the throttle there. Probably should have been off the track there. I should have got a penalty, but I didn't. Must have been not strict corner cutting, as you do get a good exit there. And we're flying, we're doing good. 115 currently, going for 128s, 127s I think I've gotten in time trial. Definitely cut the corner there, excuse me. 100% that was a corner cut. As we're going to come across the line for a 128.1, which is pretty good. Guy in P1, 127.8, definitely could have matched that. But you know what? I will definitely take a 128.1. And we're coming out again to start another outlap. Just going to warm up the tires, do the same old, you know how it is. Come around cleanly, stay off the curbs, try and lean off the tire wear. And just come around, practice the points. We're feeling good, looking good in the Renault there, Daniel Ricciardo's. Fantastic driver this year. Hopefully we can channel some of his dive bombing energy. As, we're just going to warm up the tires, do our thing. Bahrain's a great track. It's perfect timing, as well as during the day, it is impossible to see the racing lines. I wish maybe I will get to one point. I will be able to race without the line. That would be amazing. I would feel definitely very cool. I have tried racing on manual, and I must say I do enjoy it. I find I get more traction control. I might be a bit slower because I'm paying less attention to braking points and things like that, as I let my friend over here the racing point by. Gotta observe good driver etiquette. It doesn't matter if it's an unranked lobby or whatever it is. You gotta have good driver etiquette. So I let the guy pass. You know what? Enjoy, sir. Do your thing. Do your thing. But I'm gonna try and slip into his toe here. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of did that on purpose. As we go into hot lap, max fuel mix, we're gonna rip it out of this straight. And we're just gonna grip again. We're just gonna grip it and rip it here. Get in the DRS. I mean, there's no DRS, but get in the slipstream, sorry, and just rip it behind this guy. If we can, put it in 1:7:27 range, get 5/10 up on our current time, we'd be fantastic. Brake early, all about the exit. Stay off the curb here. This you can take a lot of curb. I don't take as much. This guy goes off the track, which kind of messes me up because now I'm thinking, okay, is this guy going to impede me? Is he going to do anything here? I brake quite well, actually. Gain very much time on him. Get very close. And here I brake, and now he's just, you can't take that line. I understand he's trying to let me by, but he's basically right next to the racing line, and he's totally kind of impeded me. And at this point, I figured, well, I'm not going to have time for another lap. And I'm just going back, retiring out from the session. I'll take P3. You know, I can still do something. So I am going to retire from the session. And we'll see what we do in the race. All right, here we are in the race. Red lights are out, and it's a decent start. We're gaining on Cello Gamer. I saw right now that I had the upper hand on the Ferrari as well, so I'm going to just take it deep. Stay to my line. He cuts, moving under braking. Terrible maneuver, but I'm going to go deep. Hopefully the Ferrari messed up as well, and I am able to cover him off, but this racing point literally comes out of nowhere, and at this point I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I get the slip screen because I got a better exit anyways. I'm going to dive a little later, kind of, you know, just take my spot. He's going to go beside me actually, which was quite the good move. I know here's my chance. I've got the inside line, and bang, there it is. He backs off. And so now at this point, I know what my game plan is. I want to get into Cello Gamer. I want to get away from these guys behind me before DRS is activated, and then just stay in Cello Gamer's head with DRS. Let him use all his ERS, fuel, all that. It's a decently long race. 14 laps is quite a lot. As you can see, I'm pumping up the rich fuel mix here. I just want to get close to Cello Gamer. I already know these two behind me, Ferrari and Racing Point, are going to fight each other. I'm out of they're out of my DRS. I'm out of their DRS, whatever you want to call it. But I'm closing in on Cello Gamer. I know I'll have him within my sights. He did beat me in quali, but I already know through this first lap, I'm 9/10 back. I know I can get to him. So I'm going to keep it, on the straights, corner standard, straights, maybe pump it up to rich, ERS, overtake, bang, and you can just see how much time we're gaining. It's maybe not so much on this straight, but we are keeping close to him, and the guys behind are 2 seconds back, 3 seconds back, 3 seconds back. So I really feel if I just keep pressuring this guy, stay easy on the overtake, just keep with him for the first few laps and just let driver skill maintain the rest of the gap here. And so that's just what we're going to do. We're going to drive in this guy's shadow for a while. I noticed I was losing that 1 second gap here. So I really did want to make sure I maintain that. So I did often just pump it up into rich and use some overtake just to keep in that. Because I knew once that I did have that, I wouldn't need to keep doing that. And I could just keep scaring him off. I find often in this game, it's very skilled drivers, it doesn't often affect. But if you feel you have a driver advantage over someone, that you can kind of pressure them if you just stay behind them for a while. Because they'll be, worrying about you behind them as we get a great exit here, gaining so much time on them. They'll start to feel pressured and they start to miss braking points and, maybe spinning on curves. And that's when you know you got them. So that way you don't even have to make that crazy move and dive bomb and, risk ruining your race. Let the guy ruin his own race. Just stay behind him. Give him as I always say, give him the dipsy doodle and it'll work. It will work. As we just get a great exit here, knocking down a 10th or 2, and we're just gonna keep right behind him. See, I'm not getting too close. Trying to keep the ERS, and now we've got DRS. This is the game changer. So let's watch this delta here. About second, still a second. I may need to pump it up into rich after this corner here, but we're going to try and catch him. I know I have the driver advantage over. It may look like he's keeping me at bay, but I've got so much overtake and I've got tons and tons of fuel. I'm just going to keep pressuring him. Hope he makes a mistake. I feel it might be coming, and if if he doesn't make a mistake, I know I can catch him. I really did believe if I just kept my pace up, I could catch him. Keeping the DRS, use a bit of overtake here or there, but there you go, 2 or 3 tenths. I know if you're gaining, from my experience at least, I know if you're gaining that much time in corners and on straights that, you know, you got a little bit of a pace advantage, that race pace, as I can just fly through that middle sector. It's just my sector. Everyone's got their sector, that's mine. And I know right here, this is kind of where I figured, okay, I've got this one. On that straight, and especially on this lap, I knew, okay, I got this. As you see me pumping it into Rich here, DRS, trying to catch up close to him, and then as soon as I kind of know I have that advantage, I go back on lean because I don't want to pass him. That's the thing. I don't want to make a move here. Don't want to force anything. Brake a little early just in case he brake checks me. Stay off the curb and bang, get a fantastic exit. He does as well. I won't lie. He did good get a good exit there, but I've got DRS, ERS, the trifecta. You cannot stop that. We're staying 4/10ths back. We want to maintain that gap. I want him to make a mistake or for that overtake to be so close that it's a no-brainer, right? I don't want to pass him in a corner unless it's the final 2 or 3 laps. It's not worth it to risk the race at that point. At this point, on something like that, and I see him making those errors, and again, he's wide, so I'll back off. I know he's rattled at this point. I do know, I can feel it. I'm gaining, hundreds and tenths on him. I know within a few laps I'll be able to actually make a stab at it if I want to really keep behind him. The thing is, it is tough to stay right behind someone in the corners and kind of match him. As you know what, there it is. There it is. He spins out. He's made his mistake, and now at this point, I know it's in the bag. I just got to bring it home, really. So, ERS, rich fuel mode, bang, we're going, we're sending it. He's 3.5 seconds back. All I've got to do at this point is just manage my race well. I know I'll be able to win this one. Fine, it's been a while. I don't often win, and mind you, there's only 9 guys in this session, but a win's a win, and it does feel good. Especially in a race like this, where you kind of got to test your nerves almost. It's easy when you're fighting and you're constantly doing stuff. As Cello Gamer unfortunately leaves the session, but it's tough when you're in the lead and you're kind of by yourself to just do your thing. You're like, oh man, I hope I don't make any mistakes. Do I put it on Rich? I don't want to ruin the tires. Those kind of things start going through your head, and you're thinking, well, is it worth it? Is it not? Is it, what do I do with the strategy? When you're battling and racing close, you kind of have a goal, but when you're by yourself, it's almost like you're in time trial mode. It's an interesting dynamic. It absolutely is. But it is good practice, because if you want to be good and be able to race in esports or at an esports level, you need to be able to maintain first in the race, and not make any errors. Mind you, this is much easier knowing I have a 13-second gap. If I spin out, catch a curb, I know that I'll probably be able to catch the guys behind me if I do go behind them, or I probably have a good enough gap that it doesn't really matter even if I do spin out. As we're just, going hard in the straights, easy in the corners. Hard in the straights, easy in the corners. It's much safer. You don't want to ride any curves. The curves can catch you out, I find. I do play on medium traction control, so there is a possibility, as you saw in the Monaco video, I do spin out. It's not as terrible as if I was on no traction control, but it is still quite poor. My throttle application could definitely use some work. I'm not super smooth in the corners where I can get slingshot exits. I do ease up where I could maintain speed as we get a decent section there. But this turn, I don't necessarily take it well. I find it's weird, as you have to start accelerating, but your tires aren't fully straight yet, so that's a weird one, as is this one. I think that's maybe one thing I do struggle. I want to get the car straight before I'm, pounding that throttle. But we're just continuing to extend the gap here and just do great things. Let's just keep that gap over 10 seconds. No need to do anything crazy. Pit stop when you need to pit stop. Lap 6 out of 14. We're doing good things. We just got to keep it up. Trying to get some fast laps. And, whatever. Get an extra championship point. See how fast we can go. Right now we're at a 117, 118. It's looking like a fast lap. Getting in the 120s would be great, but I think a low 130 isn't too bad either, as we use the last of our overtake, and it's going to be a 132, which is now the fastest lap, and we are now able to go pit on the pit window. And here we are now in lap 13, back. The race continued to go smoothly, great pit stop, continued to extend the gap on the Ferrari, and just, again, not do anything silly, just drive safe, stay off a few curbs, avoid the sausage ones, you don't want to mess around with them, and just take corners early. You can see I'm not hitting the points really at all. I am going quite slow. This one, good, that's a good turn, but you can tell I totally missed it there. Ease up on the throttle here even as well. Just take it nice and easy. Almost lose it, keep it, we're good. And we just keep going. We just want to keep that pace up, keep hitting 130s, 131s. I was doing that. They're on the medium tires. It was great. Just extend the lead a second or two every lap. Just to prove that I have the race pace at this point is what I was going for. Just knowing that I could do it. I have the ability to not choke away a lead, because at this point, 45 seconds ahead, you can see the Ferrari is so far back on the mini-map, the one fighting with the Merc, that they're just so far back. I know he's not going to touch me, but even then, you want to keep it a safe drive. You always want to think, well, what if someone was a second behind in DRS? I would like to be pushing it and making sure that didn't happen. So as we enter the final lap, you can see a 132.1. Again, in quali, not that good of a lap. Yeah, on softs, But on mediums, you know what, I'll take that. I was getting 131.5s, 131.2. I will definitely take a low 132 on worn mediums, mind you. This is a 25% race, so the tires do wear out incredibly quickly, not to mention it's in Bahrain as well. And we're just going to take this final lap cautious. Even there, I'm easing up on the throttle quite early. You can flat out that, but it wasn't for me. Almost going to lose it. Nah, we keep it there. Turn left to go right, that old saying. And we just definitely brake a little too late here. Curb propels us to the side, but we keep it. We got a 48-second gap, 47-second gap. We should be okay to take our first victory in this series. I wouldn't want to say it's been a long time coming, since it's only been 2 videos, but it definitely feels good. It's good knowing you have what it takes. Sometimes you do just need the confidence in racing. I won't lie, just to pull that move, to make that turn, to flat out really gain those extra tenths that you need to win the race, as we take the final corner in the Bahrain Grand Prix, driving the Renault of Daniel Ricciardo. Wave to the mechanics, and there it is, P1. P1. Yes. It was a great feeling, honestly. Even if it is an unranked lobby and all this, I would love it to be a ranked lobby, but there's been some funny glitches where I just can't enter, as we see the Ferrari race in here. Who's this? AlphaTauri behind him, and he's got the Merc behind the AlphaTauri. As they're racing, let's see what happens. And the AlphaTauri spins out, and he spins out the Mercedes as well. That interesting finish on the last lap. The Ferrari, he didn't do anything. He's just driving. He's chilling. Looks like he's going to smoke the wall. Make sure that he doesn't. And he takes second place here, which honestly isn't that bad of a result. I really don't know what he's doing, but there he is, crossing it in style. Well done to that man. But no, it does feel great to get a P1 under your belt. I'd love to get a podium in my league. I haven't done that yet, unfortunately. Some poor luck. But this is a start. P1 in an unranked lobby. It's a great feeling. It really, really is. I imagine we got fastest lap as well, which again is good. Just to know that you have the pace. It doesn't matter if the people in the lobby aren't as good as there it is on that podium, standing in the P1 spot. But it is good to know that you have the pace to compete at possibly a higher level. Mind you, I don't know how high of a level it would be, but it's good to know that you have decent pace. Race pace is something I always find I struggle with. I can get a good quality time often, but the race pace is what you really need to succeed, and I just do not have that. There's a lot. I think I'm too cautious on a lot of corners where I shouldn't be cautious, and unfortunately, that kind of ruins my driving. But nonetheless, it was a good race, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a great, fantastic day. Thank you. Bye bye.